Hi, everybody. We are here for But Sober, episode 17. Could just give me a second and I will get our guest invite sent. Today I have a guest. Name is Tyler. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Turn that TV down. Okay. Okay. So I really don't know a lot about Tyler's story. I know he was going to be a guest one other time and he had to cancel. I know he doesn't have a lot of time tonight, but he's going to jump on and share with us the time that he does have. Make sure he can get in. While everybody's waiting, immediately after the podcast tonight, I'm doing the regular live on TikTok. Anybody watching on Facebook or anywhere else that wants to join that, please feel free. It's Feral But Sober. Obviously on TikTok, we do it about 7 o'clock every single night. We've been having just a little group. No real theme. We do try to keep the first part of it a little bit recovery centered, where we will, do gratitudes and affirmations and all the stuff. But after that, we kind of just, hi, Sober Cowboy. We just kind of cut into whatever. So feel free to jump on and be a part of that. Tyler should be coming in any minute. I just spoke to him right before this, so. Hi, Shucks. I'm waiting right now for a guest. This is my actual podcast. For some of you hi, Josh. Some of you on TikTok aren't familiar. I actually do host a podcast on Friday night, Saturday afternoon. My guest is, I just sent the invite. I just spoke to him. I know he did say that he only had 30 minutes tonight, so he wants to hit up a meeting, which I totally respect. But hi, Gracie. Hi, Don. I'm waiting for I have a podcast guest that's supposed to be joining on my other platform. I've sent the invite link. I'm waiting on him to join now. But I don't know if he's going to. I just spoke with him and he signed my guest agreement and asked what time we started, but he's not here. I don't know. While we wait, though, I shared this morning. Oh, here he is. There you go. There you are.
Hello, let me get in some light. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I was just saying, I honestly don't even know that much about you. I spaced a lot this weekend. As some of you know, I did my very first Thanksgiving that we hosted here this week. So it was very chaotic for me. We had a lot going on. And I like completely spaced until like Wednesday. I was like, oh my God, I haven't even talked to the guests on my show this weekend. So I apologize for that. High energy. I want to say right now that I do have like TikTok going over here. So if you see me kind of just like saying hi to people, just keep talking. Don't, you don't have to stop it. Hi, Jody. I just try to acknowledge people as
All
they
right.
tap in and show their support.
All right.
So
So you had a good Thanksgiving and stuff?
I did. Did you?
Yeah, I had a wonderful Thanksgiving, honestly. Yeah, I was sober, so that's winning, and
He's winning.
just got to hang out with some good people, and we had a really good spread. It was a really good Thanksgiving, so I'm grateful for that.
So are you home with your family or?
Yeah, I actually live with my girlfriend. Uh, so we just went over to a friend's house or whatever and had Thanksgiving, so it was cool.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, really just gonna like what it was like, what happened, and what it's like today, type thing, or
Yeah, that's what I had some questions prepared if you wanted to go that route or if you just kind of wanted to give a lead, whatever you want to do. I try to kind of give whatever you're comfortable with. Some people like questions better, some people like to just talk.
yeah, I was just gonna kind of like just wing it, just kind of like
Sure.
like just give a little bit of my story and not
Yeah,
really go in too much. Go ahead.
just like your past, what life looks like today, like what motivated you to start recovery, your biggest changes in yourself.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, so yeah, like I was saying, I ain't gonna really go into too much of I mean, I'll hit on some of it, like what it was like or whatever, like because I kind of want to give people
Hi, Mama.
inspiration,
Hi,
and
Moki.
yeah, so
Absolutely. Like, do not hold back. Like, say what you're comfortable saying. Like, some people are not comfortable talking about that stuff. And if that's you, that's fine. I myself believe that when we share our experiences, it let other people know that they're not alone, because I know for a long time myself, I struggled with the feeling that I had done too much. Like I had done too wrong. I was too far gone and there was just no hope for me. I was just gonna, I was gonna be an addict until my life, didn't exist anymore. And so it took me realizing that other people have been in the trenches as hard as me and came out. So by all means, share as much as you're comfortable with.
that part, yeah, yes, absolutely. Um, yeah, I'm 32 years old. I'm actually from Athens, Ohio. So,
Do
I
you know
grew up in
James?
kind of, yeah, I actually do know James.
I
James is a
love
real
James.
good dude.
Shout out to James.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to James. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's got a good heartbeat. So, yeah, we both are from Athens. So, but I actually live in Columbus, Ohio now, though. I had to relocate, to start actually getting to know myself and stuff. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Because I
absolutely.
couldn't do it. I couldn't do it where I was at. I tried it for 32 years and it didn't work for me. So I had to, relocate and stuff. And it's actually been probably one of the best decisions I could ever made, honestly. Uh, but yeah, so I'm from Athens. I grew up I'm the oldest of four. So I grew up in like abusive home or whatever. My dad was an alcoholic. My mom was an addict. So being the oldest, like I kind of took all the beatings and the drunk beatings and stuff like that. So, um, but I did that was about up to like the age of 9, and then we got taken away. Like the children's services come in and got us. You know what I mean? Uh, And my grandma ended up adopting me and my sister, and then my other grandma adopted my other two siblings. So, but my grandma gave me pretty much the best life I could ever had, honestly. I was active in sports and stuff all through school, and like halfway up through high school, I was involved in sports and stuff, and was actually good at it for real. Like I excelled in football and stuff. Like I was a sophomore playing varsity, that kind of stuff. And then about 14 years old, I tried smoking a joint, and that's, that saying that is a gateway drug. That is honestly a gateway drug, because that's what took me down that path, was hitting that blunt. So, but yeah, man. So I was about 14. I tried and then 15 I started drinking and stuff, and it just kind of that was it for me. I liked the feeling it gave me, and
Hi, child.
I started hanging out with the wrong people and
No, I'm doing a
doing
pop.
that stuff, like grandma chasing me down all the time and stuff, trying to get me back home. And, so I kind of put her through it for a long time, honestly. She wanted something better for me, and I was I was hard headed, and liked the feeling that the alcohol gave me, and it kind of turned me into someone I wasn't, and I didn't even realize it. So that went on. So I ended up dropping out of high school at 17, and then that quickly led to intravenous drug use, like in and out of, you know, uh, like adolescent rehabs and stuff, like 2 or 3 times. I went to the Basset House. That's a rehab for adolescents, you know what I mean? So I was in there, did that 3 times. That didn't work. uh, like juvenile detention didn't work. You know what I mean? I did that a few times too. That didn't work. That didn't help.
So did you like have
Uh,
a contact with your parents through this whole time with your mom or no? Like
uh,
after your
no,
grandma took you?
actually, Leanna, I really didn't, because my mom ended up going off to prison. Her and my dad ended up like divorcing and stuff, and she got with another dude, and he was a dude in and out of prison and stuff. So that's where she went. She went to prison for like 3 years. So us kids kind of lost contact with her for a long time. Um,
And did you say you were
she
the
went off.
oldest?
Yeah, yeah. I'm the oldest out of four. Yeah.
So that probably,
So
that probably hit hard being separated and stuff, I don't know.
yeah,
As the
it definitely did. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, it took a toll on me, honestly. It did.
Hi, Kelly.
Not just, being the oldest and kind of being like, I loved my siblings and stuff. Like I took beatings for them and everything, just like because I was the oldest. You know what I mean? So like
Now
I feel like
you said your grandma took you and some siblings, and then another grandma took the other siblings. Did the other siblings, did they have a good life as well, or were situations bad for them?
actually, because my grandma took a set and my other grandma took a set. So like the grandmas, after we got taken, they gave us the best life they could. You know what I mean? Like,
Good, good.
so yeah, like they gave us. I couldn't have asked for a better childhood, honestly. Like after my grandma got us and stuff. So, but
So that's
yes,
interesting.
but
Do
I
you
got.
feel like even though you were like removed from the situation and still had a fairly good childhood, sports and all the whatnot, that still yet you're like upbringing with your parents and stuff definitely like not led to but contributed to your addiction and drug use and stuff?
Oh yeah, it definitely did. After I got taken and stuff, like just because I already had kind of that addict in me from my parents being addicts. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Absolutely.
And then like me seeing my dad drink all the time, coming in, beating TVs off our walls, and because we was happy watching TV, and he didn't like to see us happy, so that's just what he did. throwing food out the back door, you know, when he come in from being on a drunk binge, and you know, like, so it was honestly just crazy.
James
So
is watching. He's
that
commenting. He said, "What's up, my guy?" Tell him James Barr is watching. So proud of you, my dude. You've come so far.
tell him I said thanks, and I hope he's having a blessed day.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just seen those comments. So what motivated you to eventually, okay, I'm sorry. Let's get back to, you
So,
said, and then you started the IV drug use, and then how did your life go from there? Like, what did rock bottom look like for you? Like, how bad did it get?
that's what it was. So I started like the weed and the alcohol ended up leading me into intravenous drug use when I was like 18 years old. So, and then I done dropped out of high school, done quit playing football. So like I really, you know, once I got that feeling, that's what it was. That's what my life revolved around. I chased that and nothing else, you know. So,
Right. It made everything
but
go away.
what's that?
Made everything go away,
Yeah,
to us
absolutely.
as
Yeah,
addicts, especially those of us that experience trauma, it seems like that's the biggest reason for using, because I didn't feel shit, all
exactly.
the hurt that I felt when I was sober went away when I was, when I was high. So
I agree. That's it right there.
yeah,
Yes.
being numb,
And
absolutely.
someone told me in the rooms one time, and it clicked. He's like, drugs wasn't our problem; they was our solution. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
Like, and I'm like, damn, man, that's that kind of hit different, but it was that. That's the truth, though. Like,
Yep.
but so from the age of 19 to 22, my mom ended up getting out of prison, and she got with a dude. My stepdad, she married him, and so I moved in with my mom for a little while. And my stepdad got like 200 and some Roxy 30s a month, so I was abusing them, and um, so. But that went on for a few years, so I ended up catching my first number at the age of 22. For some possessions and receiving stolen properties and stuff. Went off to the joint for 3 years. Got out. That didn't help. Was ripping and running for a few. I think it was like 7 months, and ended up catching another 2 years and went back to the joint and got out. And that was just like a cycle. It was like that was rock bottom to me, but it wasn't enough because I'm a survivor, right? So I can adapt and survive anywhere I go. So it was like prison. If prison wasn't enough for me to stop, then what was? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
And I mean, I don't know about
uh,
you, but sometimes I looked forward to going to jail. Like, there had been times where I've had warrants and I would just be like, do some dumb shit because I was ready to lay it down for a bit, because sometimes you need to
right.
rest, man. Like, so sometimes
Yes,
you're looking forward to
absolutely.
that reprieve a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
as
And
horrible
that's
as it is, like, that's awful
right.
to say.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. But it was like that didn't, it was crazy, like you said, because like I didn't really have much going on anyways. So hell, like I knew I was going back to prison half the time. So it was just like go balls to the wall, hammer down, smash the gas until, it's ball until I fall type stuff. You know what I mean? And that's just the way my life went, man, for a long time. And, four numbers wasn't enough for me to change or whatever. So like you said, like that was just like a little vacation long enough for me to get healthy and stuff to get back and do the same thing. You know what I mean?
yep.
Uh,
So what
but yeah,
motivated you
that
to
was,
finally start recovery? Like, how did you finally get involved and decide,
well, I actually just did. So my last number was 6 years. So it was like that right there
Damn.
really that dusted me off. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh
Right.
shit. Like, I'm going to end up fucking around, spending the rest of my life in prison. And I don't want to do that. So, by the grace of God, I found God, man, while I was in there. Something I didn't do the last 3 times I was down. I found God and started going to these little Bible studies. And, some people say, oh, you came to the joint to, get saved and all this and that. Well, like,
So
that's
what?
like, I don't, right.
So what? If
Like,
that's what it takes, sometimes it takes being sat down, like sometimes our thick-headed stubbornness, I think James calls it like knuckle-headedness or something like,
yeah,
we know it all. You can't teach us nothing when we're like that. We have to be sat down. We sometimes, sometimes jail's what it takes. Jail's institutions for us to be clear-headed enough to hear some sense and reason.
I agree 100%. Yes, that's exactly right. Um, but yeah, so it was like I felt like I said, I found God, and I found myself going to Bible studies in there and going to church services and stuff, and I actually, started to learn how to pray and stuff like that, man. And it was like he lifted all that stuff off of me. Like it was insane. Like I didn't have the desire to use. Like I wasn't in there sticking strips in my eyes no more. Like I didn't have that desire to, get high or want to get high, because like I knew that if I didn't turn things around at the age of 30, then I'd be doing that for 30 more years, and I didn't want to do that.
In the
It's like,
comments, right when we were saying like, so what, I assume it's James. Some of this is probably James. It just says Facebook user, but it says like it's talking about like, yeah, you went to jail, or it says you got your weight up, you found God. I can see it in you. Then it said like, maybe you did. So what? And then someone said, I can trust you again. So, but yeah, like,
right, yes, absolutely. That's it. Yeah.
but yeah, so
And that is the truth. Like people, like they can start trusting me today. You know what I mean? Like I get phone calls from people that I haven't heard of in years, and it's crazy. Like my
yeah,
uncle called me yesterday and wished me happy Thanksgiving, and that's insane to me. I'm like, wow, I'm not used to this kind of stuff. Like this feels good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. We've talked about that
so
several times recently, how it's like crazy, the feeling of like being trusted again, and like you'll get like responsibilities and tasks that people entrust you with things that you would never believe. You're like, are you sure? Like,
right. Yes, that is a real life true. That's a true feeling, man. And so it's like, but yeah, so I got out and, um, like I said, I relocated. That was probably the best decision I could have ever made. People, places, and things was always a real, that was my worst thing, I think, honestly, because, the last 3 times I got out and went right back to Athens and found myself getting high the day I got out, a few of the times. So it was like,
yeah,
I knew I had to make a change down in me, honestly, like, and I realized that I had to want it for myself. I couldn't want it for no one else, because I've tried that and it didn't work in the past. And so I just found myself again, but I got out and ended up going into a sober living, and that's where things started, taking off for me. I started growing. I found myself emotionally again. It was like, I started reaching out to, well, I actually started going to meetings, finding good people in the rooms, and, started reaching out to good, sober, real life people that didn't want me around for what I had, or,
or what you
for
could
what I
do
could
for
do
them.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like people just want to see me grow,
Ain't
like,
that such a strange feeling to like, you're like, you want to be my friend, like just for like, because like just to be my friend, like for
right.
like, are you like, why? Like I'm always like not now, but like I find myself questioning sometimes, like suspect of people's motives because of the life that we lived in, the way that it was before. Yeah, I'm like, and you have to learn to, everybody's not out for some, that's like a whole thing that you have to learn and teach yourself, that everybody is not out, to use you and take advantage of you anymore, because those are not the people you're surrounding yourself around. But it's sometimes hard to like to learn that, like,
You're exactly right, man. Yes, yes. Yep, you're exactly right. It's a good feeling though, you know. So I got out and got into sober living and started, you know, actually going into the meetings, and not just to get a paper signed, but I was going just to, you know, just because I knew that's what I had to do for myself and to grow as a person, you know. And so I started going to the rooms and stuff, and I found somebody that was in the local union carpenters, the Ohio Carpenters Union Hall. And, you know, I got in good with him, and he got me a job as a laborer in the union, and that changed my life, you know, like ain't nothing better than getting up at 5:30 in the morning and going to work and handling your business, you know, and coming home and showering and eating and watching some TV. And like, I got a car today. No one can take it from me. You know, I wasn't doing things I wasn't supposed to get it, or hitting licks to get it. Like, I earned it honestly. And I got things in my life that I've earned honestly today that people can't take from me. And honestly, that's a real good feeling that, like,
And
I
not
ain't
having
never
to look
been,
over your shoulder all the time. Like, I don't
oh
know
my
about you, but,
God.
like, we talked about warrants all the time and shit, man. I spent half my life, anytime you see headlights pulling the driveway, I'm already halfway across the house,
Yes,
and, like, to not
absolutely.
have to live like that anymore, man. Shoo.
Yes,
Like,
yes. That's definitely so much of the truth. But so I just, you know, just that I ain't never really been so at peace in my life, getting up at 5:30 and going to work, and,
congrats,
you
dude.
know, handling my business. And but I wouldn't have found that though if I wasn't in recovery. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely not. You ain't getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and going nowhere unless it's, maybe to hit a lick
right.
or,
Yeah.
but it
Shit,
definitely
I'm
not
dope
to
sick at
work.
5:30 in the morning, you know, most of the time. So like, I'm not dope sick today, so I can get up and handle my business. And that's one of the best things about it, man. This recovery stuff has given me so much. And like, God has put things in my life today that I would have never, you'd have said a year ago, you'd have been like, where I am today, I would have been like, man, you're crazier than hell. You know what I mean? Like,
What is your
that
sober
ain't
date?
me. It's actually, I got home from the joint uh, in January. And so March 2nd, I had a little hiccup. And for 2 days, and I'm like, shit, I can't do this. You know what I mean? So I ended up going to a PHP for 30 days and then going back to the sober living house. So actually, it's March the 9th is my like actual sober date, you know, because I had a little hiccup and stuff. And they call it a slip. I call it a hiccup, but it's, you
It
know,
happens. And
yeah.
I think when people tell me stuff like that, when I hear that people have had like, oh, I relapsed for like a day or two, and then I like recognize it and went straight and got help. Like, to me, like, you have got this. And like, it's okay to mess up, man, but you recognized it and you immediately went and like got help. I always say like say stuff out loud, and if you say it to the right people, it takes its power away. Like, just like, you
Oh, yeah.
the right people, like, hey, I had a hiccup or a slip up or whatever, and they made it right. You know what I mean? But if you tell the wrong people,
Yes.
it went very differently.
Yes, and that's what it was. Like, I had that hiccup. People found out I had that hiccup, and they was calling my phone, blowing my phone up, and trying to pull me back into the rooms. And like, that's just real. That's the friends and stuff I've got today. You know what I mean? Like
So
if
what
they
would
see
you
me doing
say
something wrong,
would
and
be the biggest changes you've noticed in yourself?
oh, just personal growth, just like, well, first off, I got to eat humble pie about every day. You know what I mean? Because there's some things, and yeah, for sure. Like, there's things that I don't, you know, that I still got to work on with myself and stuff. But I try to take a self inventory about, you know, once a week or twice a week, like, and look at the things and look back on the few little days or whatever. All right, I've done this, or I was thinking this way, and I try to
Yeah.
identify that and turn that into something positive. But just emotional. emotional growth, honestly. Like that could be my, like, if I could tell someone that's still sick and suffering what it's like, man, is just give yourself a break for, 30 days, man. If you don't see a change in your life in 30 days, you can always go back out there. The streets are always going to be there.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
And they will welcome you
So,
back, like they ain't nobody's gonna
oh,
get
with
mad at
open
you.
arms.
Like, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like, that's just, for me, that's just emotional and mental growth, just like identifying things today that, like that I haven't in the past. When I was using, I wasn't worried about nothing but that next fix. Like,
So
but today I can worry about,
what support and resources would you say helped you the most?
honestly, peer support would be a big one.
Nice.
Because I got a peer supporter that I can call and reach out to, and her name is IKEA, and I can let her know what's going on or whatever. Like, she's the one that helped me get my birth certificates and, well, you know what I mean? Help me get a little foundation started so I could get into the union. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have an ID or nothing when I come home. I had a prison ID, like, so I had to reach out to peer support, and they got the ball rolling for me. Took me places I needed to go to get things done. So
I
just,
love peer support. And I mean, and I'm not just saying that. Yeah, I am peer support certified, but like I didn't
oh,
even
are
know
you?
peers. I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I didn't even
Yes,
know that peer
congratulations.
support like existed like back when I was like when I went through treatment and stuff like years ago. You know what I mean? Like all of that, like we had a counselor that we met with, and they may or may not have even been in recovery. No offense to no one that's not, but you know what I mean? Like a lot of stuff wasn't understood back then, and blah blah blah. So like I love the idea of peer support, just like that there's someone that you can be like, hey, this is what I need to do and I don't know how to do it. Can you help me? And people are like, yeah, no shame, no making you feel, stupid or none of that. Like they just do it. And I don't know. I just love the
Yeah, they do. You're
concept of it.
exactly right. You're exactly right. Like, I could, so that's just what it was for me, is if I could tell somebody, like, it's just, stay connected, and reach out to people, because there's a, like, people tried to tell me, and I did. It took me, like, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that my big deal was, oh, they're going to look like, oh, I didn't want to feel vulnerable or weak, right? So I didn't want to reach out to no one because I didn't want to feel vulnerable or weak, because I'm a man and I'm supposed to
Hmm?
stand on my own 2 feet and do this and do that.
Yeah,
Well, no, that ain't what recovery is about. It's about reaching out to people and staying connected and doing what you got to do, honestly. So that'd be the, like, peer support and self-help groups and stuff like that would be, one of my biggest things to tell the newcomer or whatever on this. That's what
so
helped
how
me.
do you still take care of yourself day to day now that you're clean and sober and are you out of sober living now, you said?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Well, I can. Honestly, I can tell you that I just try to stay. I don't try to get excited anymore. I don't try to get overwhelmed. I don't try to get ahead of myself. I try to. And when I do feel that way, I got people today I can reach out to that I've met in recovery and stuff. And that took me a long time, but people I can reach out to that they're not going to look at me for feeling vulnerable or weak or whatever. Like, these people are actually really trying to help me, and, that have helped me grow and stuff. So that's, it's just
Absolutely.
not feeling vulnerable and weak would be my biggest.
Right. Proactive, not reactive.
Right. And, like, just staying healthy mentally and not getting over myself and meditating and taking an hour out of my day to, just sat down on the bed and just take a couple deep breaths and, kind of self reflect on what, things I've did today that I can better myself for tomorrow. And,
What would
I
you
try to
say
look at those
are
things
some
and,
of the biggest challenges that you've overcame?
oh man, some of the biggest challenges that I've overcome, just coming back home from the joint, would be the biggest one, honestly. Yeah, because that's hard, man. Coming back home from the joint, butt naked with nothing. They give you your sweats and drop you off at the ticket and with a bus ticket, and that's it. So that was a a really big challenge for me. Honestly, was just coming home from prison after doing all them years and just trying to adapt back into society. Honestly, it took a few weeks for me to, actually be able to just sit down and take a few deep breaths and identify the things that I've done the last time I come home that, and kind of build off my mistakes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, so this is what I did the last time I come home. This is what I don't need to do. This is what I got to do. I got to, you know, stay connected in recovery. And because honestly, AA and peer support and stuff like that's been one of my biggest help. Like they've helped me overcome the challenges and they've made it easier for me to, uh, you know, be a structured citizen and, be a productive member of society. And they taught me that stuff, just by telling me and showing me. And, I just had to learn how to walk all over again this last time I come home. And I actually needed that though. That humbled me. It's like, I had to learn how to become a man. I've never been a man before. Like,
Yeah, full
the
on
dope.
adult. You know what I mean? Like it's hard
Yeah.
to learn, just
Like,
to like the mentality of like you say getting up at 5 a.m. and going to work every day, like, and then not
right.
coming home and getting hot. Like, a lot of people, they're like, oh, I work all day. I can do this and that. Like, but you can't because so you have to like, I don't know, just get that
Yeah.
mentality like to being a grown up, to get up every day and go to work and handle your business
Yeah.
and come home and deal with the hard days, like, because there are going to be hard days, you know what I mean? And you have to learn how to cope with them. So that said, what advice would you have to anybody as far as like coping strategies to deal with any like, I don't know, like triggers, cravings, any kind of the mental stuff that you deal with early on? Do you
Oh
have any
man.
advice?
Yes, I do. One of the biggest ones I'd give would
Thank
be
you, Jen.
to don't get complacent because that's going to hurt you bad. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And that's something that I had to learn how to do all over again. Honestly, it's not getting complacent. Uh, Reach out to people that you got. Like, go to self support groups and go to these kind of meetings and stuff because I swear to God, you're going to find people in the rooms that are going to help. They help me tremendously. You know what I mean? So it'd be like not getting overwhelmed, not getting ahead of yourself. I know it's not easy. Believe me, it's been one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. Honest to God, was to learn how to walk again, learn how to be a man, learn how to pay bills, learn how to handle your business. You know what I mean? Like, because I've never done them kind of things in life. And today I'm doing them, and it's just teaching me how to be structured, how to be a productive member of society. I'm about to get off of parole in a couple months. So, and for me, it's just sitting down and getting some self time for, a half hour, 45 minutes a day helps. And, just reach out to find good, sober support people that you can reach out to. And, because I'm telling you right now, they're going to help you and not look at you like you're vulnerable or weak, and it took me a long time to realize that. But so that's,
Is there any one specific thing that's like giving you hope right now? like
Oh
hope to
man,
keep, I
yeah.
guess like hope and motivation, like to keep going, or that you can, you can succeed. Because I know you're pretty early in recovery, and super proud of you. You know what I mean? Super, super proud of you. And you can do this. We definitely can do this. And, you got
Thank
it
you.
down.
I
You
appreciate that.
you have the words, you have the words and the knowledge, just, put it into effect, and you've got this. But is there any specific thing keeping you going?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just not. It's simple, really. Today, it's real simple. I heard it's a simple program for complicated people, right? So, like, it's what's keeping me going today is just I don't forget where I came from. I I honestly to God, I don't ever want to wake up like that again. So I don't want to wake up dope sick. I don't want to wake up in prison. So that kind of stuff gives me hope and motivation. And then I look at all the accomplishments that I've made in the last 8 months. I've been clean, and it's like that stuff gives me hope. You know what I mean? Because I've done got a vehicle. I'm paying bills at my girlfriend's house. So like I'm learning how to be a man again, and that stuff gives me hope at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. So, you mentioned a girlfriend a couple of times. Have you guys known each other prior to all of the mess, or is this something new?
well, I actually met her I met her at an AA meeting or an NA meeting or whatever.
Nice.
Like it was back then. Yeah, so she had like 18 months of recovery and stuff, and so I met her in April in the rooms. You know what I mean? And just I met her in the rooms. I put my number in her phone, and it just kind of went from there. She was already working and kind of already had things going for her, and I felt like I needed that because she helps. She honestly does. She helps keep me, accountable. She helps keep me. She honestly does. Because if I didn't have her, Leanna, I don't know where I'd be today. You know what I mean? Like,
God knows what he's doing, man. He shows up on time. He puts people where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there.
yes, absolutely. And that's the thing, man. I prayed on so many different things, and it's like I pray on it, and as long as I don't put one in me, like he shows up when you least expect it, he shows up. As long as you're doing the right thing, and you're living one day at a time, and but you got to be sick and tired, man, because
You
that's what
have
brought
to
me
be.
into the rooms. Was you got to be sick and tired of just waking up dope sick. You got to be sick and tired of the streets. You got to be sick and tired of the prison racks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because that's what kept me going. That's what gives me motivation. Is like I don't ever want to wake up like that again. So,
Yep.
you
Yeah.
know,
I don't ever want to be in a position where, like, stuff was going on in my outside life, like my father passed away, things like that, and I was locked up and I
oh
couldn't,
man, I'm
like,
sorry to hear
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's okay. It was a while ago now, but I mean, but yeah, like I never want to be in that situation again where, hi Casey or Cassie, I'm not sure. Um, Casey, I'm sorry. I never want to be in that position again where people control my life, where, and I have no say in it. Like, there were real life things going on that I needed to be a part of, and I could not be there because of my own stupid actions. And I have no desire to
Exactly.
feel that helpless again. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and that's just what it is. Like it honestly is. A dude told me it's a simple program for complicated people. Like, and that hit me hard. I'm like, damn, man, I've never heard that. That's the truth, though. Like, it's
Somebody
simple. Don't
commented and
put
said, it is definitely simple, but I complicate it when life gets lifey. And
right when life starts lifing, that's when stuff starts happening, and because believe me, you're going to have things happen, and but dude told me is you ain't got to put one in you because life's lifing. You know what I mean? Because life's going to be lifing for you regardless. Things are going to happen. But we ain't got to put one in us just because things are not going on our way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it took me 30 years to learn that, to honestly be able to say that and mean it, like, because that's the thing. Like, I don't ever want to wake up in a prison rack again. I don't ever want to wake up dope
Networking.
sick again. So that stuff keeps me humble. Like,
Absolutely. Tyler, did you need to go? I know you said you needed to catch a meeting.
yeah, I'm about to go to a meeting at 7 o'clock. But Leanna, I appreciate you and I appreciate your time. And
Absolutely. I appreciate you being here.
yes, I appreciate you for letting me share a little piece of my story. And I hope it can help someone else that's struggling. But I
People
do
said
got to
that in
say,
the
man,
comments. Somebody said your story will, let me find it, where it said your story will impact others. So absolutely, you're definitely going to help people. Thanks for being a part of my show tonight. The reason I asked about if you want to get off, I got a little pop-up that said it's going to kick me off here in 30 minutes or 30 seconds. I'm not sure why, but I didn't want it to kick us off and you not know why. But thank you
right?
so much
Yes,
for
I
being a
agree.
part of
But
this, Tyler. And you're welcome to come back anytime you want to share more. If you have anything else, would love to have an update from you, see how you're doing in the future. If you just
yes.
think of a piece of your story you want to share, I would love to have